Welcome to another exciting edition of Comet Algebra. This video is for Algebra 1, Chapter 9, Section 2, Adding and Subtracting Polynomials. So not a lot of teaching, not a lot of new terms here for the explanation part. You need to think back to what you have learned in the past in algebra when we discuss like terms. Because when you're working with polynomials, when you're adding and subtracting them, all you can do is combine the like terms. And just to review, like terms are ones that have the exact same variables with the exact same exponents. Unless they're exactly alike, you cannot add them. And when you do add them, you do not mess with the exponents. In an example, we scan through here where we have this first polynomial, we're adding this second one, and we're adding this third one. So it's all adding. And we look and we see we have an x to the third here, and I'm scanning through, and here's another x to the third. So do you remember my silly example where I said this is like having one marble with x to the third painted on it sitting there in your hand? And I walk up to you and I add 3 more marbles that are also painted with the x to the third on it, and I place them in your hand. And now you have 4 marbles with x to the third painted on it in your hand. Did we mess with this exponent? No, we did not. So remember that. You just add them, only like terms that have the same variables with the same exponents. So now we can add our x squared terms. So I just underlined those. 2 plus 6 is 8. So we have 8 of those x squareds. Now we can add the x terms. Here's a negative 8x and a negative 9x and a positive 4x. And if I added that correctly, I got a negative 13x. I love the way you guys check my work and let me know when I make a mistake. That is so awesome. So keep doing that. So now just the regular numbers. I have a positive 2 right here. I have a negative 18 here and a negative 2 there. And if I added those correctly, I end up with a negative 18. And you'll notice that I put my answer in standard form. I have descending powers here. Nothing else can be combined. There's no other like terms here, so this is simplified. Moving on to example 2, we read that we have a polynomial here and we're subtracting another polynomial. Now this subtract sign, you need to be careful. You're subtracting everything in this second set of parentheses. So either you have to rewrite it, keep your first polynomial as it is, and distribute this negative sign throughout the entire second polynomial. So you could take a minute and write this as negative 2a minus 3bc, and notice the double negative gives us a plus 6c. Either you have to rewrite it, or maybe you can come up here and put in the signs, but either way, no matter how you think of it or handle it, you need to distribute that negative sign throughout the entire second polynomial. And then moving into your combined like terms. 1a take away 2a is negative 1a. The 1 isn't needed, but if you put it there, it would be okay. 3bc take away 3bc, that adds to 0. And 5c plus 6c is 11c. So that's your simplified answer. All right, one more example, and I think we'll have the idea. So once again, just look and see what we have. We have this first polynomial. We're subtracting this polynomial and subtracting this one. So we have a lot of negative signs to distribute. So once again, you can write it on the problem, or perhaps to be on the safe side, if you want to rewrite the entire line and put in distributing this negative sign. So it distributes to both of these. So we have negative 9a squared. Again, a double negative becomes a positive, and sometimes we will miss that. Then distribute this negative sign to get negative 7a squared plus 8ab minus 6b squared. Now that we've taken care of distributing the negative signs, let's combine like terms. So scan through here very carefully. So here's an a squared, here's an a squared, and here's an a squared. And if I take 2 minus 9, I get negative 7, and another negative 7 is a negative 14, a squared. Now, remember, when we have two variables, the first one that comes in the alphabet first is kind of the one we follow. So we have the squared, and now we do the term that has the a to the first power in it. So here's an ab term, and I'm looking, and here's another ab term. And they're both positive, so 8 plus 3 is 11. So I get 11 ab. And now let's see if we have some more like terms. Here is a b squared, here's a b squared, and here's a b squared. And I'm noticing that this plus 6 and minus 6 are gone, so we are left with negative 12b squared. All right, that's combining like terms. Watch your negative signs. So now you have the knowledge you need for section 9.2, so have fun with math.